Nashville Now is brought to you by America's Dairy Farmers, reminding you that cheese makes all the difference in making food taste better. And by GMC Trucks. It's not just a truck anymore. Live from Music City, USA, it's Nashville Now. Our guests tonight are Bill Monroe, Ralph Stanley, Margo Smith, and comedian Royce Elliott. And now, live from Opryland, USA, here's the host of Nashville Now, Ralph Emery.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much. We've got a packed house tonight. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our show. You know, I love doing this show, but sometimes I'm really glad when Friday gets here. You guys glad when Friday gets here? In fact, a lady by the name of Mrs. V. Hammock of Orlando, Florida, sent me something that really sums up how a lot of folks feel by the end of the work week, and I'd like to share it with you. You know, I told you the other night people are always sending us stuff. This reads thusly: yes, I'm tired. For several years, I've been blaming it on middle age, iron poor blood, lack of vitamins, air pollution, water pollution, saccharin, obesity, dieting, underarm odor, yellow wax buildup, and a dozen other maladies that make you wonder if life is really worth living. But now I find out tain't that. I'm tired because I'm overworked. You see, the population of this country is approximately 200 million. 84 million are retired, and that leaves 116 million to do the work. There are 75 million in school, which leaves 41 million to do the work. Of this total, there are 22 million employed by the government. That leaves 19 million to do the work. 4 million are in the armed forces, which leaves 15 million to do the work. Take from that the 14,800,000 people who work for the state and city government, and that leaves 200,000 to do the work. There are 188,000 in hospitals, so that leaves 12,000 to do the work. Now, there are 11,998 people in prisons. That leaves just 2 people to do the work. You and me. And you're sitting there watching this. No wonder I'm tired. Oh, that's fun. And Mrs. Hammock, I thank you for sending that. I'm sure we'll all feel a little better now as we listen to our opening act. He is in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and he's getting to be a regular around here. He's been here 51 years. Would you please welcome the king of the bluegrass, Mr. Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys.
Back in the days of my childhood, in the evening when everything was due, I used to sit and listen to the foxhound with my dad in the old Kentucky hill. I'm on my way back to the old home, the road by torn up the hill. But there's no light in the road that shines on the world all alone. I'm on my way back to the old home. The road winds on up the hill, but there's no light in the window that shined long ago where I Kentucky stands upon a spot in my memory. I'm on my way back to the old home, the light in the window I long to see. I'm on my way back to the old home, the road winds all up the hill, but there's no light in the window that shine long ago where I live.
Mr. Bill.
Where's he at?
Mr. Bill, why don't you come on over here and join me, if you will, please, sir?
Can I step down out here?
Watch that step. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Come.
Don't you have a right hand?
Yeah, I do, but I was going to help you up this step right
Oh,
here.
well, you're going to...
I can do it with my right hand. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, I do. I'm delighted to see you.
Where you want me to sit?
You can sit right there. How you getting along?
Doing fine. Getting along fine.
I read something kind of interesting. I heard that at one time in bluegrass bands they used accordions. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Back years and years ago when Big Howdy Forster, played the fiddle for me, his wife played the accordion. And years when I was a little boy in the state of Kentucky, my mother, she played the accordion. So I just wanted to hear the accordion in the bluegrass music.
Does anybody today use an accordion in a bluegrass band?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
No.
Was the mandolin, was that your first choice?
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about when you first started playing.
Well, Birch Monroe played the fiddle. He didn't want me to play the fiddle.
That's your brother.
Charlie played the guitar, and he wanted the guitar. So there was just 3 instruments around in the country then. There was no bass part or anything like that. And no banjos hardly, just... So I'd taken the mandolin.
Did you want to play the fiddle?
Well, I like the fiddle all right. But I'm glad that I've taken the mandolin. I've done more with it than I would have with the fiddle.
Now, when you and your brothers were all young fellows, did you have a band together?
Yes, sir. Just the 3 of us played.
The Monroe brothers?
Monroe brothers, yes, sir.
From Rosine, Kentucky?
Rosine, Kentucky.
Then you became a dancer. We've talked about that. You were a dancer on the National Barn Days.
Yes, sir. We traveled all over the country up there. We had a good set of square dancers. And that was back in the early 30s when we was dancing for WLS in Chicago.
Now, did you dance? Were you a dancer first and a bluegrass musician next, second?
Yes, sir. I was a dancer at first.
I know you're still a pretty good dancer. Bill, I notice here, I have a note about, you're going to do 3 albums in 1990.
Yes, sir.
And one of them is going to be, an all-star album with other people?
Yes, sir. The first album we're going to do, has got Jim and Jesse, the Osborne brothers, Ralph Stanley, he's going to be on the album, and Mac Wiseman, and Ricky Skaggs is going to be on the album.
Well, you think he can hook it?
Yes, he can sing.
So now, when are you doing this album?
Well, we're going to start out to stay around probably in April.
You still over at MCA Records?
Yes, I've been there 40 years.
When you go somewhere, you just stay a while, don't you?
Yes, sir. How many years have I been here?
Well, yeah, you've been here 51.
You're right.
When is the 51st anniversary?
It was October, the last Saturday in October.
Well, that was your 50th anniversary.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bill, it's a pleasure to have you. We're going to take a little break. I'll remind you that not only is Bill here, but Ralph Stanley is here tonight, Margo Smith, and comedian Royce Elliott. That's the show tonight. We'll be right back. Tonight, the emphasis on this program is on bluegrass music, so if you're one of those people who have said, well, you ought to have more bluegrass on Nashville Now, tonight is your night. And Mr. Bill, I'm going to ask you, if you will, please, to introduce our next guest.
I would like to do that. Is all, can I start right now?
Yes, sir.
Ralph, this gentleman here has been in bluegrass ever since he was a real young boy. Him and his brother worked together. Carter Stanley, you know, he worked with me a long time. And they got a fine group. They're respectable people. They're just good friends of mine. And I'm so glad that they're on this show with me here tonight. Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys. Give them a nice hand, please.
All right.
The road's been rough and rocky that I travel day by day, but I feel at the end of my journey I'll see the great Milky Way. I cannot sing like an angel, and I cannot preach like Paul, but Lord, when you get ready, I'll try and answer the call. You send it in my way. Turn not and be faithful, for I'll return someday. I cannot sing like an angel, and I cannot preach like Paul, but Lord, when you get ready, I'll try and answer the call. Happy band. I cannot sing like an angel, and I cannot preach like Paul, but Lord, when you get ready, I'll try and answer the call.
All right, that's Mr. Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Clan. It's a long walk from that other stage way over across the room. Ralph, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Have a seat with Mr. Bill here, if you will, please, sir.
Have a seat right there.
I want to, if you don't mind for a moment, rather than talking about you, I want to talk about some of your experiences. I wanted to ask you about two young bucks that used to play in your band. I believe you gave early jobs to Keith Whitley and to Ricky Skaggs, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I sure did,
How old were they when they worked for you?
They was either 16 or 17 years old.
Did they come to your band together as a duo?
Yeah, they did,
How'd you find them?
Well, I was playing a place in Kentucky one night, in Louisiana, Kentucky, and
They must be here tonight.
Must be, and I was late getting there. I'd had a flat, and when I got there, I heard these boys on the stage singing, and it was Keith and Ricky, and they was taking care of the show until we got there.
They were holding the crowd off till you got there.
They were holding the crowd off, and then right away they said they'd like to get into music. So it wasn't 2 or 3 weeks till they started with me.
Okay, now what did they do about school?
Well, I believe we didn't play too much during the week, and they went to school most of the time during the week, and we just went with me on weekends most of the time.
They must have been pretty good.
Oh, they were fine.
For you to pick them up and put them in your band.
Yeah, they was. I had already had 5 people, but they went along with us, and they done a fine job.
Now, was this when your brother Carter was alive, or was this after he had passed away?
No, that's after he passed away.
Now, I'm a little confused. Did you ever play with Bill's band?
I played a little bit, didn't I, Bill, a little while?
Yes, sir.
And I know your brother Carter played with Bill.
Yeah, Carter played with him a good while.
How long ago since your brother passed away?
December the 1st, 1966.
Did the Stanley brothers have the original recording on I Know You're Married, But I Love You Still?
No, we never did do that one. That was Don Reno and Red Smiley.
Don Reno and Red Smiley. Okay. Ralph, when did you play in the Bill Monroe band?
I guess it was in the early 50s. It was probably 50 or 51, Bill.
Yes, sir. Way
while
back
Carter
then.
was playing with him.
Yes, sir.
Was String Bean in the band then? He'd already gone? Bill, you've got a large alumni section. An awful lot of people have played in your band over the years that went on to be solo artists. You, Ralph, are you still based over in Virginia?
Yes, sir. Over in Virginia.
We're happy to have you on Nashville Now tonight.
Well, I'll have to give Mr. Monroe credit for that. He wanted me to come down and pick a few with him.
Now, are you going to work together tonight on this show?
Yes, sir.
You want to do a song together?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you had a young man. I met him back in the dressing room. The youngest guitar player out there. Is that your son?
That was my son. He's 11 years old, and his name's Ralph Stanley II.
And he's playing some pretty hot guitar licks over there, too.
He's learning.
Well, I can tell about where he's headed with his life. Okay, this is Ralph Stanley, and I'll remind you, when you want to make it special, real cheese makes it easy. Check this out, and then check your refrigerator. We have an old friend back on the show, and this is sort of a coming out party for her. Last fall, she had a rather severe foot operation, and tonight is her 1990 debut in high heels, so I hope she's comfortable. Would you please welcome Miss Margo Smith? Take it easy. Margo, now that you've sung, do you want to take them off?
No, they're my daughters, and they're half a size bigger than mine. So, and they're not too bad.
Tell us what happened to your feet.
Well, ladies, when you stuff your feet in high heels, you're gonna pay the price someday. And I guess I did that, and so they just, it's called a bunionectomy.
Excuse me?
It's called a bunionectomy.
A bunionectomy?
A bunionectomy.
I have a microphone. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. And so what they do is they just cut this little thing right off of there, and then they kind of move your toes over to one side, all of them. They break them.
They break your toes?
Break your toes and kind of move them over there. And it smarts. It really
I'll
does.
bet, but the toes look like they're in the right place.
Yeah,
So
they
where
look good.
Excuse me, where did they move them?
Well, once you saw that big thing out there, then you have to break all the toes. I don't know exactly what they do, but I know they broke them, and they're okay now, except that to wear high heels, you have to put all your weight on your toes, and that's really bad for you. But you see, I got them on again, don't you? We never learn, do we?
Are they killing you?
No, they're not. They're not really killing me, but they were killing me before.
Are these yours?
Yes. Anybody?
I think these are cute. Did you wear these for a long time?
This is what I wore for a while.
Let's see what they look like.
They're really nasty, Ralph.
Nasty?
Well, you know, they're ugly. And, but I'll tell you why.
Yeah, but they look comfortable.
They are, because you can't walk, you can't bend your feet at all. You have to walk around like a little,
Put those on.
Oh, do I have to?
Oh, well, I think... Listen, I want you to be comfortable.
I'm not wearing these things. There is no way. I brought these to give away to somebody that really wants these things, because you can have them. There they are. What do you think? Those are really...
How big are they?
Well, it's kind of like, these are like a medium.
Will they fit me?
Yeah, you can have them.
No, they look really comfortable.
They are comfortable, but you can have them. And see, you get a lot of attention. People at the grocery store ask you, they go, can I help you? And your husband waits on your hand and foot. I really enjoyed that part of it.
Wait a minute.
No, your foot's too big for...
Wait a minute. Oh, no.
It's okay.
No.
They're really kind of well.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
They're really
Did I drop that on your toe?
No, I wouldn't tell you if you did anyhow. Probably never. You should. But,
are you healed?
Yes, I am. I'm all healed except for the toes where they broke them.
What?
Except for the toes, putting a lot of weight on the tippy toe. I'm all healed. What they don't do is, see, they'll say, you'll be okay in about 3 months. And then after you call the doctor and you say, well, 3 months is over, and he says, well, you'll be okay, but you can't walk for a year and a half. So watch it when they tell you that.
Wait a minute. That works. I got a little left over.
Never mind.
Huh?
Never mind. I was going to say, you do. That's a...
You like them?
Yeah, I like them on you.
I don't understand why you would torture yourself if your toes are still healing, why you would wear the high heels.
Because they're too big, Ralph. They're okay. I mean, it's because you look like a dork in flats. That's why.
Are you telling me I'm...
Don't you ladies? You really... You know, you get all dressed up in a nice little suit or something, and you put on flats, and you just... New Year's Eve, I had to wear flats, and I felt like...
Listen, if you're sexy, it doesn't matter what you wear.
Yeah, but Ralph, that is not sexy.
What do you think? You like that? I'll say that. If I had a larger pair, they really would be comfortable.
They are comfortable. They really are.
So you've been in these things for 3...
Yeah, I was in those for about a while.
Well, all of November, December, January.
Yeah. At Christmas, it was fun. But I shopped. Hey, I shopped till I dropped in those things. You do it, don't you, ladies? It doesn't pay. Hey,
do you want when you walk in these, do people feel sorry for you?
Yeah.
You get lots of special attention?
Yeah, I like it too.
Can you park in those zones?
No, because I tried that, but you have to have a little sticker on your car. They'll tow your car away.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can't just walk up to those zones with these things on?
No. But you want to.
You know, as you were yodeling, I was wondering, are there yodelers in bluegrass music?
Very few. This one here could yodel.
Can you yodel?
Mule Skinner Blues.
Can you yodel?
Oh.
Yes, sir.
We got time for him to yodel, or we got to go to the break here?
It's great.
We need to break. But we've got more show, though. I wondered if maybe you and Mr. Bill could yodel a little bit together.
Why? That would be wonderful.
Well, I'm going to take my good-looking shoes here and go on back to my desk. We'll be right back after this.
You've got the best view of country in the country. Stay tuned. There's more Nashville Now on the way on the Nashville Network.
Here's a fella I think you're going to enjoy an awful lot. He's a Midwesterner from up in Peoria, Illinois. Would you please welcome Royce Elliott?
It's great to be here. Just got back from Vegas. What a wild town that is. Lady of the evening stopped me. She said, I'll do anything you want for $200. I said, paint my house. I saw a cop pull a guy over. He said, your wife fell out of the car 4 blocks ago, buddy. He said, thank God, I thought I went deaf. Same cop pulled a guy over. He said, you coasted through that stop sign, buddy. I'm going to have to give you a ticket. You didn't come to a complete stop. Guys, what the heck's the difference? I slow down. There's nobody around. Slow down, stop. What's the difference? Cop said, you want me to show you the difference between slow down and stop? Started beating him on the head with his nightstick. He's, now you want me to slow down or you want me to stop? A lot of people don't realize Ralph was an apprentice plumber before he got into showbiz. He went to do some work for this old lady one day. She said, go ahead and do the work, but I got a couple instructions for you. Don't pet the Doberman because he's mean, and don't talk to the parrot because he's a troublemaker. He's under that sink cranking a wrench, the sweat's rolling off of him, the dog's glaring at him, waiting for him to make a move, and the parrot keeps saying, hi there. Hi there. The wrench slipped, he banged his knuckles, the parrot said, hi there. Pretty soon he broke the pipe, it hit him in the head, the water's rolling on, the parrot said, hi there. Ralph said, well, you goofy-looking thing, don't you know how to say anything besides hi there? He said, yeah, sick 'em. Ralph was roaring down the highway one day. A pig jumped out of a livestock truck. He chased him down, threw him in a car, flagged the cop down. He said, what should I do with the pig? Cop said, take him to the zoo. Next day, the same cop saw Ralph roaring down the highway. The pig's in the front seat with a ball hat on, looking around. Cop pulled him over. He said, I thought I told you to take that pig to the zoo. He said, I did. We had so much fun today, we're going to Disneyland. I got my good friend Billy Dentino, a great musician, singer from Peoria, Illinois. No neck Dentino. Great guy. Not real heavy upstairs. We're standing on the corner. A pigeon made a deposit on his head. I said, I'll get some tissue. I'll be right back. He said, forget it. That pigeon will be 5 miles from here. Actually, I went to school with Billy. He was in 8th grade for 2 terms, Truman and Eisenhower. He thought a Dairy Queen was a milkman with high heels. We were in English class. The teacher said, you know Edgar Allan Poe's Raven? He said, no, what's he mad about? Brought his report card home with 4 F's and a D, and his dad said, you're spending too much time on one subject. Never forget the first day he went out for football. The coach said, what position you want to try out for, Billy? And he said, quarterback. Coach said, can you pass this ball? He said, I'm not even sure I can swallow it. Said he'd never go ice fishing again. It took him 8 hours to cut a hole big enough for the boat. His grandpa was so dumb he fought in a civil war for the West. But I'm happy to be here. My wife just took out a home improvement loan, gave me the money and told me to move. She's a great cook. She thinks the smoke alarm's a timer. She's such a rotten cook, our roaches are anorexic. our house, we pray after we eat. Been hassling with the kids all week. You can't raise your hand to your kids anymore. It leaves your groin unprotected. Told my kid about the birds and the bees. He told me about my wife and the butcher. My mother-in-law's been with us all week. She's tougher than a night in jail. 280 in a sunsuit. Looks like the Hindenburg with shoes. Got 3 teeth. Got one of those when she joined the Elks. Halloween, we put a candle in her head and make her look out the window. She fell off a horse and broke her leg, and the horse shot her. Thank you. Great crowd. Thank you.
Hey, Royce. Hey, Royce, how you doing?
Oh, fantastic. Been a busy year.
Margo mentioned that she's sort of a shopaholic. Do you shop when you're out in Vegas?
Yeah, I went shopping the last time I was there. I told the guys I'd like to see a swimming suit in my size. He said, so would I.
Do you have a radio show?
Yes, I do. I have a weekly radio show, and I have a lot of sports figures on it. It's kind of a call-in talk show, and a few jokes. I have people call in one-liners and have a lot of fun. It's a great show.
Is this in syndication?
No, I wish it were. I wouldn't have to.
Where can it be heard?
Right in Peoria. Don't get out of our parking lot, though.
Who are some of the sports figures that come on the show?
Billy Williams, a Hall of Famer from the Cubs. Bobby Hull, great hockey star, and Dennis Hall, his brother, Stan Makita, and Randy Hundley from the Cubs, Bob Gibson from the Cardinals, Jimmy Pearsall. Got some Cardinal fans.
Yeah, Peoria sort of, but right in the middle of where Cub and Card the country meets. So in Peoria, how do they lean to the Cubs?
Boy, I tell you what, it's a real battle there. But the Cubs, I think, might have a slight edge, but it's a real rivalry. In fact, we have a Cub Class 8 team in Peoria that draws very well. And I help support the concession stand.
Oh, you go out the ballpark.
Oh, I love baseball.
What do you do besides comedy?
Well, I get involved in a lot of charity work in Peoria area for St. Jude Children's Hospital and Christian Businessmen's Association. I spend a lot of time with that, and that's been a real blessing. And just a lot of youth sports events, and I do a lot of fundraising for youth athletics.
In Nashville, a number of entertainers have a night when they have a showcase of their musical talents, and hopefully that evolves into a career.
Right.
How do comics do it?
Well, I tell you, I spent a long time working what I call helmet joints. But, I mean, the only way I could tell if they liked my act is if they emptied the bottles before they threw them. But then I kind of spun off into corporate type things after dinner speaking, and that's kind of how I cut my teeth. And fortunately, I got a break to get on your show a few months ago, which really helped, and I appreciate that.
Do you recall the first night that you went out and did comedy in front of a paying audience?
Yeah. I thought I had 20 minutes worth of material, and I was done in 3 minutes. I had it all. The guy said, is that a commercial, or is that your routine? I said, I'm done. He said, you really are done.
Now, Minnie Pearl said, a singer only dies one death. A comedian dies many deaths out there. Oh,
yeah. I tell you, once you bomb, it stays with you for a long time. And, of course, if you do it in your hometown, they'd like to remind you of it.
By the way, that reminds me, tonight, Minnie is not here, and this is a very special occasion in her life. Tonight is Minnie and Henry's 43rd wedding anniversary. So she decided to take the night off. I'll be interested to find out how she spent it. Anyway, that's why Minnie is not here this evening. She normally is here on Friday night. Royce, it's good to see you.
Great to be back, Ralph.
Royce
Thanks
Elliott,
a lot.
let's give him a hand. We'll be right back. Program tonight, who are seated next to me now, and they have a rather interesting guitar with them from the National Tour Foundation. We have Mr. Bruce Beckham, who is chairman of the National Tour Foundation. Mike Heim, president of Artistic Tours in Milwaukee. Gentlemen, tell me why you're here.
Well, we're here, Ralph, to let the country know that Opryland has been very instrumental in the National Tour Foundation to donate this fine guitar, this Martin guitar, to the foundation's auction that we had at our convention in Salt Lake City just a couple of months ago. And it was auctioned off and has a lot of...
May I see the guitar?
Sure.
And you go ahead and talk.
It has lots of autographs on it. It's a Martin guitar, and it was auctioned off at the convention, and it got a price of somewhere in the vicinity of $4,000, and the high bidder on it was our friend Mike Heim, who's from Artistic Tours up in Milwaukee.
Well, as is evident, there's Barbara Mandrell, Charlie Daniels, Brenda Lee, Grandpa Jones, Roy Acuff, Minnie Pearl Porter Wagner, Waylon Jennings, Dan Seals, and Rodney Crowell are all on this guitar.
Yeah, and the National Tour Foundation is a educational and research foundation that promotes tourism and the education of young students through scholarships to study tourism, because tourism will be the #1 service industry in the world by the year 2000, and I'm sure that's significant for here in Nashville as well, because you do so much tourism business.
Are you telling me you can go to school to learn the business of tourism?
Yes, sir. You can. There are a number of universities and colleges around the country and around North America who really specialize in tourism administration and also hospitality in the hotel industry.
So is that what the money goes to?
The money goes to research, and it also research in the hospitality industry, and also goes to scholarships for young students.
Are there any new wrinkles in 1990 in tourism?
New wrinkles?
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of people coming in from Europe and around the world. A lot of inbound tourism. I think this past year was the first year that there was a balance of payments where more people spent money from outside the United States in the United States than Americans going overseas.
Mike, why did you buy the guitar?
Well, I had the chance about 12 years ago to escort my first motorcoach tour, and it was down to Nashville. And I've enjoyed country western music. I stayed in the tour business, and the fun part about being in the tour business is by traveling together on an escorted tour, you can share the experiences with people. And Nashville has been dear to my heart because you can share all the neat, activities, General Jackson Showboat, Opryland Park, the Grand Ole Opry, and you help the seniors who are country western fans in Milwaukee come down and experience it.
A lot of country fans in Milwaukee?
Quite a few.
So how many tours do you bring to Nashville each year?
I think we bring around 25 tours a year.
So I guess a lot of them are in our audience here in Nashville now.
Well, unfortunately today there's not, but we'll work on it.
Well, great. Gentlemen, it's nice to have both of you on the program.
Nice to be here.
And Opryland is proud to be a part of your efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A lot of fun.
Nice to see both of you. Well, tonight we are placing heavy emphasis on bluegrass music, and we have some of the great stars in bluegrass on our program. Here again is Mr. Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys.
This highway of heartache is rocky and rough, and I've learned a long time ago. You can't build a fire out of the axe of love. Roses don't bloom in the snow. Down there deep inside my soul, where once it was cold and dark, I feel your love take you home, way down deep in my heart. But slowly and surely the clouds rolled away. Sun started shining again. Down there deep inside my soul, where once it was cold and dark, I feel your love taking hold, way down deep in my heart. Well,